Ever feel like the universe is conspiring to trip you up, with hidden disrespect lurking around every bend? Imagine a scenario. Someone hurls your way a disrespect curveball, but instead of exploding with rage, you respond with such a tranquil composure that you emerge feeling stronger. Sounds unbelievable. Well, that's the power of Stoicism in action. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the world of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that goes beyond simply tolerating hardship or suffering in silence. It's about transforming every obstacle, especially disrespect, into a springboard for personal growth. Stoicism teaches us that genuine strength doesn't lie in reshaping the external world, but in mastering our own interpretations, choices, and behaviors. Throughout this video, we'll unveil 10 Stoic principles that guarantee to revolutionize the way you handle disrespect forever. These aren't esoteric concepts, but practical, life-altering strategies that have endured the test of time, empowering countless individuals to transform their reactions into responses and their challenges into strengths. So, if you're fed up with feeling like a target for other people's rudeness and yearn to take charge of your inner peace, keep watching. By the end of this video, you'll not only gain a deeper understanding of Stoicism, but you'll also be equipped with tools to maintain your dignity and composure, no matter what life throws your way. Embrace these lessons and witness how the world's disrespect transforms into mere ripples against the fortress of your tranquility. Let's embark on this journey of transformation and empowerment together. Have you ever encountered a situation that caused you significant distress, only to later recognize it was completely beyond your control? Lesson 1. Understand control. The concept known as the division of control essentially states that there are certain things we have influence over and many things we simply don't. While it may seem straightforward, the consequences of this principle are significant. When someone treats you disrespectfully, your initial instinct might be to feel wounded, enrage, or even desire vengeance. However, Stoicism encourages us to take a moment and consider, is this within the realm of my influence? The actions and opinions of others are external to our control, as frustrating as that may be. When we grasp this fact, we begin to understand that getting upset over someone else's lack of respect is similar to trying to prevent rain from falling. It's pointless and draining. Instead, Stoic teachings urge us to focus on our internal responses, which are within our control. How we interpret and react to disrespect is entirely up to us. By adopting this Stoic principle, you empower yourself to maintain your composure when faced with disrespect. It's not about stifling your emotions or pretending the disrespect is insignificant. It's about choosing not to allow external events to dictate your inner peace. This isn't something that happens instantly. It's a continuous practice, a deliberate decision we make repeatedly. Imagine a scenario where someone insults you in front of your friends. Your natural reaction might be to feel humiliated or to retaliate verbally. But what if instead you took a deep breath and reminded yourself that their words only have power over you if you grant them that power? This is where you exercise your control, choosing not to let someone else's opinion disrupt your mental well-being. Therefore, the next time you encounter disrespect, remember this lesson from Stoicism. Ask yourself if it's within your control. If it's not, let it go. Concentrate on what you can control, your response, your emotions, your actions. This is the foundation of Stoic resilience and the initial step toward handling disrespect with dignity and strength. By practicing this, you're not simply reacting to life. You're responding with wisdom and composure. This shift is incredibly empowering. This is a fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy and a vital companion when dealing with disrespect. In the Stoic perspective, wisdom isn't merely about accumulating knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge in practical ways, especially during challenging circumstances. It's about discerning the difference between what holds significance and what doesn't, what we can alter and what we must accept. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to let your emotions control you. Anger, frustration, hurt. These feelings can cloud your judgment, and lead you down a path of impulsive responses that you often come to regret. But what if we could pause, take a step back, and view the situation through the lens of Stoic wisdom? This doesn't involve dismissing our feelings. Rather, it's about understanding them, questioning them, and choosing how we want to allow them to influence us. Lesson 2. Embrace wisdom. Stoic wisdom equips us with the tools to delve deep within ourselves through critical self-inquiry. We can ask ourselves why a particular instance of disrespect bothers us. Is it truly a significant event, or is it our own interpretation that amplifies its importance? How can we react in a way that aligns with our core principles and fosters our well-being? By engaging in this introspective process, we move beyond simply reacting to external stimuli and instead choose considered and measured responses. Furthermore, this embrace of wisdom encourages us to see the bigger picture. In the grand scheme of things, disrespect is often a minor inconvenience. By applying wisdom, we recognize that our self-worth isn't contingent on the opinions or actions of others. We learn to detach our happiness and inner peace from external validation, focusing instead on our internal moral compass. Stoicism also aids us in navigating interactions with understanding and empathy. When faced with disrespect, it's helpful to consider the potential reasons behind the other person's behavior. Perhaps they are acting out of a lack of knowledge, insecurity, or their own personal struggles. This isn't about condoning their behavior, but rather understanding it, which can drastically alter how we respond. Instead of retaliating with hostility, we can choose empathy, patience, or even calm assertiveness. By responding in ways that uphold our dignity without escalating the conflict, we embrace Stoic wisdom, which provides us with a roadmap for navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. It empowers us to consciously choose our responses, to act rather than react, and to align our actions with our most deeply held values. So, the next time you encounter disrespect, remember the power of wisdom. Reflect on the situation, strive to understand it, and respond with clarity and composure. This is how we bring Stoic principles to life, transforming every interaction into an opportunity for growth and learning. This lesson is particularly transformative because it goes beyond simply managing our own reactions. It's about actively choosing to engage with others in a way that reflects the best aspects of our humanity. When we respond to disrespect with compassion, we are not just protecting our own peace of mind, but we are also contributing to a world filled with greater understanding and empathy. It's important to clarify that responding with compassion doesn't mean condoning disrespectful behavior or allowing ourselves to be mistreated. Instead, it's about recognizing the underlying pain or insecurity that often drives such behavior. It's about seeing beyond the immediate act of disrespect and acknowledging the human struggles that may be behind it. Lesson 3. Respond with compassion. Stoic philosophy emphasizes our inherent interconnectedness. It acknowledges that everyone acts based on their own understanding of what's right. When someone shows you disrespect, it can be seen as a reflection of their own internal struggles or limited perspective. Responding with compassion means recognizing this. You understand their behavior is more about their own internal battles than a personal attack. But how do we cultivate this compassionate response? It begins with empathy. Try to consider what might have caused the person to act disrespectfully. Are they facing difficulties? Perhaps they're grappling with their own inner turmoil. This isn't about condoning their behavior, but rather seeking to understand it. Understanding can help diffuse our anger and frustration. Next, it's crucial to maintain your self-worth and dignity. A compassionate response doesn't equate to passivity or submissiveness. It means choosing to react in a way that aligns with your core values. Sometimes, the most compassionate response might involve calmly setting boundaries or offering a kind word. This can shift the dynamic and potentially open the door to more respectful interactions. Finally, remember that compassion also involves forgiveness. Forgive others not because they necessarily deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Holding onto anger or resentment only harms you. Choose to let go and move forward. This doesn't mean forgetting the incident or allowing a pattern of disrespect to continue. It means freeing yourself from the burden of negative emotions. By embracing compassion, you embody the Stoic principle of responding to life's challenges with virtue and integrity. You transform disrespect into an opportunity to practice kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. This not only benefits you but can also inspire those around you. So, the next time you encounter disrespect, remember that you have the power to choose compassion. In doing so, you elevate not just yourself but potentially everyone involved in the interaction. Stoic mindfulness, maintaining clarity in the midst of disrespect. In our fast-paced world filled with distractions, pressures, and knee-jerk reactions, Stoic mindfulness offers a haven of calmness and clear thinking. However, it's important to clarify what Stoic mindfulness truly entails. It's not simply about being present or aware of the moment. It's about cultivating a deep connection with your rational mind, even in the face of chaos or disrespect. Stoic mindfulness involves observing your thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting to them. Imagine watching clouds drift across the sky. They exist, they're real, but you don't have to let them dictate the weather of your mind. When someone disrespects you, your initial reaction might be a surge of anger, hurt, or indignation. Stoic mindfulness encourages you to acknowledge these feelings without letting them overpower your reason. Lesson 4. Practice Stoic mindfulness. Instead of rushing into a response, take a calming break. This break is your chance to deliberately choose how you'll react. Rather than allowing impulsive reactions to control you in this quiet space, ask yourself, what's causing these feelings? What aspects of this situation can I influence? How can I respond in a way that reflects my core principles and values? This mindful approach doesn't just lessen the intensity of the moment. It also gives you a deeper understanding of yourself. You'll begin to recognize patterns in your reactions, and over time, you might even be able to change them. Perhaps you'll discover that certain words or actions don't have the same power to upset you as they once did. Maybe you'll find a newfound inner strength and stability you never knew you possessed. But this mindful calmness based on Stoic philosophy isn't just about handling disrespect. It's a practice that improves all areas of your life. It enhances your focus, steadies your nerves, and deepens your appreciation for the present moment. It empowers you to live deliberately, not reactively. Isn't that a fantastic way to navigate the world? So remember, the next time you encounter disrespect or any challenging situation, you have a tool that's both ancient and effective: Stoic mindfulness. By observing your thoughts and emotions with objectivity and clarity, you retain your control and composure. You live not at the mercy of external events or other people's opinions, but as the captain of your own mind and actions. That's the Stoic way, and it's a path available to you right now, in this very moment. Embrace it, put it into practice, and witness how it transforms your responses, relationships, and your life. This lesson centers on turning challenges into benefits, transforming what could be perceived as negative experiences into valuable lessons that promote personal growth. Stoicism doesn't just teach us how to endure difficult situations, it teaches us how to use them as catalysts for development and improvement. When faced with disrespect, it's an invitation from life to strengthen our character and enhance our understanding. Imagine for a moment that every instance of disrespect you encounter is a test, one that's specifically designed to help you grow. It's not there to bring you down, but to challenge you to rise above, to practice your virtues, and to deepen your resilience. This is the Stoic training ground where your mental and emotional fortitude are put to the test. And just like any muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. So how do we turn these experiences into opportunities for growth? First, by changing our perspective. Instead of seeing disrespect as something that diminishes us, we can choose to see it as something that strengthens our understanding of human behavior, tests our patience, and refines our ability to respond with wisdom. It's a shift from feeling like a victim to feeling empowered. Lesson 5. View as growth opportunities. Instead of simply reacting to moments of disrespect, we can choose to use them as opportunities for introspection. Each encounter with disrespect can act as a mirror, revealing aspects of ourselves that might need attention. Perhaps it's our susceptibility to being hurt, our sense of self-importance, or the expectations we hold for others. By closely examining our reactions, we can uncover valuable personal insights in areas where we can strive for improvement. Furthermore, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth fosters a sense of thankfulness, even for difficult times. Yes, gratitude, because every challenging experience plays a role in your development, shaping you into a more resilient, compassionate, and wise individual. And that's something that holds immense value. But here's the truly wonderful part. As you develop through these experiences, you not only enrich your own life, but you also set an example for those around you. Your ability to handle disrespect with grace and composure can inspire others, creating a cascading effect of growth and positivity. By embracing this philosophy, you're not just dealing with disrespect, you're transcending it. You're taking life's challenges and transforming them into fuel for your journey of self-improvement. And with each obstacle overcome, you become not only a stronger person, but also a guiding light for others to follow. That's the power of viewing every experience, especially the challenging ones, as opportunities for growth. So embrace each moment, learn from it, and witness yourself and potentially the world around you transform for the better. This lesson is truly the essence of living a Stoic life. Inner peace is like a sanctuary within you, a calm and unwavering center that remains stable regardless of the storms that rage outside. Stoicism doesn't guarantee a life free from challenges or disrespect, but it does offer the tools to maintain your composure and tranquility through it all. So how do we cultivate and maintain this inner peace, especially when faced with disrespect or adversity? It begins with understanding that our inner peace is ours to guard. No one can take it away without our permission. It might seem like a simple concept, but it's a profound truth that can fundamentally change how we experience life. When someone disrespects you, they're essentially rattling the gates of your inner sanctuary. Whether you allow that disturbance in is entirely your choice. One key Stoic practice for maintaining inner peace is to focus on the present moment. The past is gone, and the future hasn't arrived yet. All we have is right now. When we anchor ourselves in the present, we're less likely to be swayed by past resentments or future anxieties, both of which are common triggers when dealing with disrespect. Another practice is to regularly reflect on what's within your control and what's not. As we discussed earlier, Lesson 6. Maintain inner peace. By consistently engaging in practices that strengthen our ability to differentiate between external occurrences and our internal responses, we solidify the fact that our thoughts and reactions are under our own control. In essence, we safeguard our inner peace from being disrupted by the external world's turmoil. Embracing acceptance is also critical. This doesn't imply passivity or surrender, but rather acknowledging reality as it is. Sometimes, this means accepting that some people will exhibit disrespect and that the world won't always bend to our desires. When we accept these truths without resistance, we conserve our energy and maintain our inner calmness. Cultivating gratitude can also profoundly influence our inner peace. By focusing on the things we're grateful for, we shift our perspective from feelings of lack and annoyance towards a sense of abundance and appreciation, even in difficult situations. If we can find something to be thankful for, we anchor ourselves in a positive emotional state that fosters inner tranquility. Maintaining inner peace is a continuous practice, a commitment you make to yourself each day. It's about making choices that align with Stoic principles, selecting responses that preserve your composure, and engaging with life from a position of centeredness and strength. Remember, the more you practice these principles, the more resilient your inner peace becomes, transforming you into a beacon of tranquility in a world of chaos. So nourish it, protect it, and allow it to be your unwavering guide through life's inevitable ups and downs. Now let's explore how to set boundaries with Stoic wisdom. It begins with comprehending and defining what truly holds significance for us. our core values and guiding principles. Stoicism instructs us to focus on our own actions and reactions, which are within our control, and to relinquish our attempts to control external events and the behaviors of others, which are outside our domain. When setting boundaries, the Stoic approach encourages us to communicate our limitations calmly and rationally, rooted in a solid understanding of our own worth. Lesson 7. Setting boundaries with Stoic wisdom. Respecting the inherent autonomy of others, Stoic boundaries are not established through manipulation or coercion. They stem from self-worth and a clear understanding of one's needs and expectations. For example, if someone persistently disregards your time, a Stoic approach to boundaries might involve explicitly communicating your available hours and adhering to that schedule. This arises not from spite or anger, but from a place of self-respect and valuing your own time. However, it's critical to maintain your composure and emotional balance during these conversations, reflecting your commitment to Stoic principles. Furthermore, establishing boundaries with Stoic wisdom requires graceful acceptance of any potential outcome. People may not always react favorably to your boundaries, and that's perfectly acceptable. Stoicism teaches us to embrace the things beyond our control, focusing instead on preserving our own virtue and inner peace. Incorporating Stoic wisdom into boundary setting also necessitates frequent introspection. Are your boundaries safeguarding your tranquility and enabling you to live in accordance with your values? Do they possess the adaptability to adjust to evolving circumstances while still upholding your core principles? This ongoing process of self-evaluation ensures your boundaries contribute to your personal growth and well-being, aligning with the Stoic pursuit of a virtuous and contented life. Forgiveness might seem incongruent with the Stoic image of resilience and strength. However, in actuality, it's a profound manifestation of Stoic fortitude. Practicing forgiveness, from a Stoic perspective, isn't about condoning harmful actions or dismissing your emotions. It's about relinquishing the grip that resentment has on you, for your own well-being and peace of mind. The Stoic approach to forgiveness is rooted in comprehending human nature and the constraints of our control. People will act based on their own perceptions, experiences, and judgments, many of which may be flawed or misguided. When others wrong us, it's often because they're operating under false pretenses or out of a lack of knowledge. Lesson 8. Practicing forgiveness the Stoic way. Understanding this principle can empower us to separate the actions of others from our own emotional reactions. However, how do we integrate this Stoic approach to forgiveness into our everyday lives? It all starts with the internal recognition that the anger or pain we experience is a product of our own interpretation of events, and it's entirely within our control to release it. Letting go of resentment isn't an instantaneous process. It's a journey that may require daily, or even minute-by-minute, reminders that clinging to bitterness serves no purpose and, in fact, inflicts greater harm upon ourselves than on the person we're withholding forgiveness from. Furthermore, Stoic forgiveness involves taking a broader perspective. It's about acknowledging that life is inherently imperfect and human behavior is frequently flawed. By practicing forgiveness, we're aligning ourselves with the reality of the human condition, which is characterized by errors in judgment and misunderstandings. It's also essential to differentiate between forgiveness and forgetting. Stoic forgiveness doesn't necessitate disregarding the lessons learned from the experience or placing ourselves back in a situation that could cause harm. We can forgive someone while still choosing to maintain a safe distance or establish clear boundaries. As we explored in the previous lesson, remember that forgiveness is ultimately a gift we bestow upon ourselves. Lesson 9. Cultivating contentment in the face of disrespect. This passage declares liberation from negative emotions that chain you to the past. It's a resolute step towards the calmness and liberty promised by Stoicism. As you persistently practice Stoic forgiveness, you'll likely discover that it not only lightens your load but also unlocks your heart and mind, enabling you to experience life with sharper focus and greater pleasure. In Stoicism, contentment isn't about passively accepting or surrendering to circumstances. It's about finding inner fulfillment and tranquility regardless of external events. It's a state of being that signifies profound resilience and an unshakable commitment to your own principles and self-worth. Cultivating contentment in the face of rudeness is a powerful act. It signifies acknowledging the disrespect, recognizing it can only disturb your inner peace if you let it, and choosing to maintain your composure and emotional balance. This doesn't suggest you disregard or minimize the disrespect, but rather that you refuse to allow it to disrupt your inner tranquility. So how do we cultivate this contentment? It begins with recognizing that our happiness and peace of mind depend on our internal state. Lesson 10. Changing perspective. A central tenet of Stoicism is that our distress comes from our reactions to situations, not the situations themselves. By embracing this philosophy, you can see disrespect and other external challenges as opportunities to practice inner peace. Another key concept is focusing on what you can control, such as your response, and letting go of what you can't, like others' words or actions. When you prioritize your response aligning with your values and self-respect, you cultivate contentment by living ethically according to your principles. Practicing gratitude is also crucial for fostering contentment. By focusing on the positive aspects of your life and appreciating what you have, you shift your attention away from negativity caused by disrespect and towards the abundance of good things around you. It's not about ignoring negativity, but choosing not to let it overshadow the good. Regular reflection allows you to connect with your core self and reaffirm your worth and values. Disrespect can challenge your sense of self, but when you have a deep understanding of your intrinsic value, external opinions lose their power over you. This final lesson invites you to a transformative Stoic practice, reframing your perspective. We can view acts of disrespect as indifference, meaning things that don't inherently affect our core well-being according to Stoic philosophy. This perspective doesn't diminish the impact of disrespect, but empowers you to navigate it without losing your peace. To change our perspective in this way, we need to understand what indifference is in Stoicism. These are external factors or events that might trigger an immediate emotional response, but ultimately lack the power to impact our moral character or our ability to live a virtuous life. When we start to see disrespect through this lens, we recognize that it doesn't need to disturb our inner balance or reduce our happiness. But how do we practically adopt this perspective, especially when disrespect feels so personal and hurtful? It starts with a conscious decision to evaluate our automatic responses. We might typically react to disrespect with feelings of hurt, anger, or resentment. However, by pausing to remind ourselves of what truly matters, our character, actions, and responses, we can shift our focus from external provocations to internal stability. Another key aspect is understanding the role of perception in our emotional responses. Stoicism teaches us that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but the meaning we assign to them. By challenging our perceptions and questioning why we've given so much power to someone else's words or actions, we can start to diminish their impact. We can also cultivate this perspective through regular reflection and meditation practices that strengthen our ability to detach from external judgments and disturbances. Visualizing scenarios where we might face disrespect and mentally rehearsing a Stoic response can also prepare us to deal with real-life situations more effectively. Furthermore, this change in perspective isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending disrespect doesn't hurt. It's about acknowledging and then releasing those feelings, understanding they don't reflect our true self or our capacity for contentment. As we conclude this exploration of Stoic lessons, I encourage you to keep reflecting on them, practicing them daily, and delving deeper into the vast and rich tradition of Stoic philosophy. Share your experiences with others, for in teaching we also learn and grow. Most importantly, remember that your progress is a testament to your strength and commitment to living a thoughtful and virtuous life. Let's continue exploring, questioning, and growing together. Thank you for being an integral part of the Stoic Journal community.